just hired Tony Robbins' Vice President of Sales to run sales for myself here at the Coaches Cartel and Fit Pro Association. Here's how I did it. And the reality is, you truly are, and I know it's so cliche, I know I've heard people say this on social media, I'm like, all right, dude, easy for you to say, whatever, you have this, you have that, I don't. I totally respect and get that. But the reality is, you're one person away, you're one conversation away, you're one outreach away, you are one video away from potentially changing the trajectory of your impact, income, and freedom for the rest of your life. I want to give you an example of how I actually got Tony Robbins' VP to take over sales for me. Probably top 5 or 10 salespeople on the planet right now is running sales for little old Uncle Josh. Now, the reality is this relationship actually started with my mentor, Chris Dufey, who I've talked about a lot here in the previous CEO of this company. And what I did to get access to Chris was I gave him every dollar I had at the time. I was a struggling face-to-face personal trainer. I wanted to figure out how to do this online thing so I could travel and make more money and work with better clients and charge more and do all that good stuff. I ended up giving Chris a lot of money so I could get access to his teachings and the Coaches Cartel. So I was a client here for 3 years. A lot of people don't know that. I wasn't always the CEO of this company. I was a client on the other side of this at one point, and then he introduced me to someone I met in Bali named James, and he's an awesome dude, and I ended up meeting Tony Robbins' VP through James. And then I ended up getting on a Zoom call with Tony Robbins' VP, and we ended up getting a deal done for him to take over marketing and sales for me so I can focus on coaching the clients and actually producing content just like this for you. But to think that all of that started with one actual action that I took. It's really awesome to think of that. So for you to make this practical, what's something that you have to give up in order to get something that you want? For example, I had to give Chris every dollar I had at one point to be able to get access to him. And what that led to, after Chris and I obviously developing a great relationship as a coach client, I then came to the other side of the cartel and I started working on the other side of the cartel with Chris. And after a certain amount of time, I then met James, who is a friend of Chris's. And then I end up becoming buddies with James as well. And then James introduces me to Tony Robbins' VP. And for you to know that you are one person, you're one conversation, one video, you're one action away from having something truly special in your life happen, just think about what's that one thing you could do right now that could potentially change everything for you. I also think it's a great testament that those people would not have introduced me to those other people if I did not have the type of character and values that are in alignment with who those people are. I think it's a great lesson as well. Never burn bridges, never be bad to people. You never know where it's going to go, and you never know how and when that information spreads, because it does, like a wildfire. I hired Tony Robbins' VP because I gave money to a tall, dark, and handsome Australian guy, and that led to another relationship that led to the relationship with Tony Robbins' VP.